So I tagged you on Instagram. I posted the link on the story. So once you get off here, you'll
Okay.
see it. But obviously, you can't really do anything now because you're on your phone. Give me
Yeah,
one
actually,
second.
the computer's about to update, so maybe I can jump in twice and get off once.
Okay. To start the stream off right, I just want to say, free Cain Velasquez just got sentenced to 5 years with time served. So I believe a little less than 2 years he's got. But nonetheless, free that man. I think that he's already served enough of a sentence. I'm just hopping right into it. I think he's already served enough of a sentence. I don't really think the extra year and a half is necessary at this point. He also, I thought it was very commendable. He's like, you know what? My actions were not the best. I would do it differently if I went back. And I think a lot of people are defending him, saying, hey, man, don't do anything differently. I would do what you did. But here he is not defending himself, saying, like, look, I take back my actions. So free Cain, man. But hey, he's got about a year and a half in there, and I'm sure he'll be fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's his kid, it's his son, and his maybe his daughters and stuff that I'm worried about. As far as like they're the ones who suffer.
yeah, and he has a good family base around him that they'll be able to kind of get through this,
Right.
and just for anybody that doesn't know the full story, just a quick background. Do I have time or?
Yeah. Let him know. Let him know.
Yeah, I mean, his 4-year-old son and Dean Thomas on his show yesterday first was saying, hey, maybe it was his nephew, his son. The fact that Dean Thomas, who should be a almost a coworker, a peer in this space, doesn't know. I kind of felt upset about that
Mm-hmm.
because let's get the story straight, right? It
Right.
wasn't
Right.
his nephew; it was his 4-year-old son that was at a daycare, a place that you feel like your children should be protected, not harmed, not around a predator. And this when they investigated, detectives came out and investigated. There was other cases. 20 children have been involved in this case.
At
20
that
other
daycare.
children. Not that daycare, bro. And there's and I keep referencing a 4-year-old kid, dude. 4 years old, bro. That shit breaks my heart. You know, and so he was arrested. Then he was released on bail. I think it was like $50,000. And when Cain found out that he was released on bail, that he wasn't even jail anymore, bro, I evidently he saw red, dude.
Yeah.
And I preface this question to a lot of people because you see a lot of people saying, "Hey, well, I would have done this or I would have done that," bro. You don't know what you would have done. Like who knows? Did he take the law in his own hands? Yeah, he did. Did he make a mistake? Yeah, he did. But is he gonna pay for it? Yeah, yeah, he is. But man, that backstory, bro, and it's crazy,
It is.
crazy.
I don't understand the reluctancy about the whole not mentioning his son. I don't know if Dean was attempting to like just kind of like leave his son out of it, so to speak. But you're saying he wasn't. He was saying he wasn't sure who was molested.
Yeah, like they didn't like do the research before you go on air and start talking about it.
Yeah.
You
No,
know what
I
I mean?
agree with
Like
that.
you guys have enough money to know what the fuck the story is, where you don't. You know what I mean? Like that to me was almost like disrespectful, bro. Like if you're gonna go on the air and talk about it on Sirius XM, at least know what the fuck's going on.
Mm-hmm.
To confuse oh, it's his nephew or his son. I don't even know really
I
what it
see.
is. I
That's what
don't
he
know,
was
bro.
saying. He
Yeah.
wasn't sure.
Yeah, and we all make mistakes, but at that level of what you're doing,
It
come
should be
on,
in the
man.
show notes. Like his son was molested. It should be clear.
Very clear, right? And
Yeah.
especially something so serious.
No, I hear you. So
Maybe I'm just emotional about it. Maybe I kind of took it a little bit personal, but a part of me was like, dude, come on, bro, you're better than that.
yeah, I don't know how seriously he was taking the topic or how seriously he takes like the journalism aspect of his job there. Because he's a fighter turned kind of like media guy. So who knows? But definitely you got to
Yeah,
come
but
with the
my thing
facts
is
on
like,
that one.
how big you're on Sirius XM. Millions of people have that platform.
Yeah.
Probably one of the biggest media platforms for MMA,
Mm-hmm.
specifically for MMA. You have a responsibility, like how you always talk about being a media and having responsibility.
I agree. Yeah, that's the problem though. That is, I think, What I'm saying is that is maybe a downside of sometimes propping up former fighters. Just because you fought doesn't always mean that you are like, you know, qualified to speak on certain, not that he's not qualified, but you understand, like research wise and stuff like that, you don't always come correct.
He's super qualified, bro. Like, I think he's super qualified.
I do too. That's not what I meant to say, but yeah.
I just, oh, whoa.
Yeah, we got the stream going crazy right now. Hop off the phone. Okay, you're back. I got to recrop you in, so just continue talking, but I got to recrop you in here.
Yeah, so all I was saying is that, you know, anyway, you know, thankfully, Cain will probably only have to do 6 months to a year on this. And, you know, he can kind of move forward with his life. And the new date for the guy that is accused of molesting his son is going to be in June. And so that's another thing Dean Thomas said. He's like, hey, listen, you know, I don't know if this guy really did it. You know, maybe he's going after somebody that didn't do it. I'm going on the other side, dude, that this dude's a predator and belongs probably the rest of his life in prison. And, you know, yeah, innocent until proven guilty. I get that, but man.
Yeah, so he's set to be released in June, you're saying?
Yeah.
Wow.
No. Yeah, sentence.
Oh, so he's being sentenced in June.
So he's going to court. Now he's going to court.
For his case with this whole thing.
For his case. Yeah.
And do you know how much time he's facing?
You know, that hasn't came out yet.
Okay.
But,
because,
you know,
is it more than what Cain was facing? Cain was facing a life fucking sentence. You know what I mean?
That's a good question. That's a good question. If there's more cases that are going to come out, bro, 20 children involved.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think, you know, people will really be up in arms if they find out that this guy fucking gets to walk away free. Because the other thing too, bro, is his fucking mom and dad, bro. They're fucking enabling this motherfucker and shit.
Yeah.
That was their daycare.
Yeah. And
like,
then they're the ones who picked him up off the probation too. That's the guy who got shot, is the stepdad.
Exactly. And so, you know, and there's that double-edged sword, right? Did he handle it correctly? No, he didn't. Was he in the heat of the moment? Yes, he was. Could have been worse. It could have been way worse, dude. Like, yeah, I get it. You can't be doing shit like that. You can't.
Yeah, and that's the double-edged sword, I guess you could say, right? Is because even I tweeted something, just an initial reaction saying, you know what, if Cain hadn't gotten involved in a high-speed chase and shot a man with a bullet, you know, the wrong guy, I don't think he would even be doing jail time. I think that people, their common sense or their sympathy would have kicked in, but he had so many opportunities. He was following, he didn't have to shoot, he could have gotten out of the car and talked to them, but there were a lot of steps where he went wrong. You know what I mean? Yeah. I feel like even if right in the heat of the moment, like let's say he picked up his son at the daycare, right? And beat the brakes off of this guy and nearly took his life. I think he probably would have gotten away with it because it was that heat of the moment. He picked up his son. He saw the man. I think the driving, the shooting the wrong guy, I think that's where some of the things went wrong.
And I mean, you're putting the society at risk because of your actions. What if he got in an accident, killed somebody that was pregnant? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. What if he shot somebody and they hit another little kid? You know, there's all the thankfully that didn't happen, but he did shoot the dude's dad.
He did.
And you know what's interesting is I was just watching that Gabby Petito case.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, his parents fucking enabled their son.
Yeah, I watched that as well.
Dude, like, so I'm kind of like putting these people in the same fucking boat. You know?
Okay.
Because there's some parents out there, bro, that will, regardless of what their kids do, they will protect them. You know, and I'm on the side of the fence. If I have a kid, nephew, everybody in fact, man, bro, if my fucking kid did some shit like that, bro, I'll be the one to go try and lock his ass up. I don't give a fuck if you're my kid.
Yeah. No, I know. There are parents who do that, though, and that's a good comparison with the Gabby thing, because they did that. They refused to talk to the cops and stuff like that, and this could have been stopped, I feel like.
We don't know. But he's inside. Dude, what the fuck?
I mean, if this guy's got a problem, right, keep him the hell away from the kids. What are you doing continuing to bring him there? You know what I'm saying? Giving him 20 chances to do this kind of thing is ridiculous.
And who knows?
One is too many.
One is too many, exactly. So, yeah, I'm glad I'm with you. And this was maybe, a lot of times you're like, hey, you take the media stuff very personal.
Yeah.
I think with this story, we should take it personal and should get it correct.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. That's why too. Yeah, and that's why too I was kind of letting you take the reins here, because I know you've been researching it and shit like that. So, I'll even say I haven't fully, researched it all the way. That's why I'm kind of giving opinion. But facts-wise, listen to MTK over here, because he's been researching it. From not even just from yesterday. You've been doing videos about it, like following this case for a while now.
Yeah, the homie Vaughn actually wrote an article on our website like 6 months ago, and he did a lot of research too. So he was educating me too. It was like, oh, okay, this is what kind of happened. This is how it went down. And, so at least we can like share with the audience, hey, this is where we're at. And they're giving him 1,283 days served. Initially, they thought, hey, he's going to do 5 years, 60 months. I think it's 1,800 days. And for the 9 months he was in jail and the year and a half that he was on basically house arrest, like you can't do anything, like you fuck up, we're going to give you right back to jail, $1 million bail bond. And so the judge was sympathetic to the case and said, hey, we're going to apply that to your sentence that I just gave you. So I think a lot of people are like, okay, you know what? Even Cain, like you said in the beginning, he's like, you know what? I'm going to do what the system's saying I need to do. And because the judge could have said 30 years.
Could have, yeah. But the judge even seemed like they didn't want Cain to even receive that sentence. I feel like the judge was kind of on our side where he or she was like, no, you know what? I feel like time served has already been enough. Like, no need to do more. Because wasn't the judge kind of like getting emotional saying like no son should be continued to be separated from his father like this after like what he suffered?
Yeah, I could probably pull that up too. But yeah, he did seem emotional on what was kind of going on.
Like with the sentencing, knowing that Cain is now going away from his son.
Yeah, he said, this is a tragic case. Mr. Velasquez is not a danger to public safety.
I agree.
The case is unique and unlike any other case this court has presided over. The mitigation factors outweigh the aggravating factors.
Yeah.
Judge Arthur Bocanegra is his name.
Okay. Well, yeah, Cain's probably living like a king, man, and he's got DC to probably like help look after his son and stuff. So I'm sure he's got good role models around him.
And dude, DC spoke out. He dropped a post, right?
Yeah.
Habib spoke out. He dropped a post for him, said stay strong line. A lot of people within the MMA community that are his brothers at arm almost,
Yeah.
Spoke out. I saw Orbit. The guy that's supposed to be fighting Brian Battle.
Bon Mercier.
Yeah, he came out and was like speaking up. From a lot of people in the community spoke out for him.
Okay, hell yeah. So yeah,
Dana
free
White,
Cain.
Habib Islam, Daniel Kamara Usman, Henry Cejudo, Yair Rodriguez, Brandon Moreno, Kevin Galsam, just to name a few, wrote letters to the judge personally back in 2022. So.
Okay. Now, I don't know what the courts can do, but I'm optimistic. Maybe Cain can even serve a little bit less time with, good behavior moving forward.
So look at like if he has a year and a half to do, right? Typically within the prison and jail system, it's so overflooded, it's so like populated that they're trying to push people out on good behavior. Yeah. So if you got a year and a half, typically you'll do 6 to 8 months. Okay. Maybe sometimes even less, bro. Unless you're like a violent offender, like, you know what I mean? Like super like, hey, you're gonna, we can't let you out.
Right. And I'm sure Cain's at the top of that list, Give it a couple months. He's going to be at the top of the list to be released if they need to keep like some other violent ass dude in there.
Yeah. And something I was going to add on to this was I didn't like what Ariel did on Monday.
What did he do?
So Ariel had Tom on the show, right?
Right.
And so then he plays a clip for Tom. The same day Cain is getting sentenced, he plays a clip for Tom about Cain saying, hey, in my opinion, I think, John might probably win this fight versus them, to get a reaction out of Tom. And I was like, out of all the days to do this, today wasn't the day, Ariel.
And of all the people who've been reacting to this shit.
Well, but it was about like, so he had Tom interviewing Tom, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes to Tom and he goes, "Hey, this is what Cain said about you, and he thinks John will beat you. What do you think?"
Yeah, I got
You know,
you.
he's expecting Tom to, and Tom was very respectful, bro. Like, hey, you know, I that's one of the guys I respect. He's a legend in the sport. I respect his opinion. But you know, Ariel wanted him to clap back.
Yeah, that's an odd one to me. I don't like this. Like, dude, when you're putting together your questions, like that's really what you're doing. Like, you're like, regardless of Kane, even, you know.
But to me, it's almost like out of all the days to do it, you could have not asked that one question.
Yeah, I agree
You
with
know,
you.
the day that he's getting sentenced, the day he's gonna get separated from his family, you decide to ask this question. You know, and I just thought it was out of bounds, bro. It was like,
And I mean, to take it a step further than that, like, I know you're saying it's out of bounds just in that context, but I think it's kind of a stupid ass question to begin with. Like, so and so, right, who's like retired, like thinks this, like, so what do you think about that? It's like, bro, can you like be more considerate of this guy's fucking energy and like ask him a better question? Like, who gives a fuck what Kane had to say about it? Everybody's got an opinion.
yeah.
So I'll just take that a step further.
Any other day, I kind of wouldn't have cared. I'd be like, you know what, whatever, you know. But it was just like that day, though. Come on, bro, be better than that.
Yeah.
Do
and
better.
then
Do
let's
better.
to give it like that second step, it's like, let's say Tom even responds, right? It's like, so now like Tom's like bashing Kane or some shit. Like, what
Right.
did you expect to get out of that? Like, it's
Right.
not really something that like you could have foresaw that and be like, nah, not worth asking.
Right.
You know what I
So,
mean? So
yeah.
anyway, another topic I just want to touch on real quick. RIP to a boxing legend, you know, George Foreman. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I watched his documentary on Netflix like about a couple years ago, and if anybody hasn't seen it, I highly recommend watching it. The guy like fucking
he's a beast.
beast, like super heavy hitter. He's kind of like a Mike Tyson. He was like in some like, you know, getting in a lot of trouble because he was broke and shit. It's all coming back to me now. He was like broke in elementary school, like didn't have any food and shit. And like they depicted this story where like kids were making fun of him for being broke. And so he would get in these fights. It became a norm for him to get in fights because he was getting bullied. Went to some like alternate boys school, learned boxing, and basically like became this undefeated Olympic champion until he fought Muhammad Ali. Yeah.
Right.
Little backstory.
Another legend.
Another legend.
And Ali was chirping, huh?
Yeah, he was chirping. That's one of the greatest fights of all time.
Is Joaquin the Ali of MMA?
Maybe. Maybe. He's probably one of the best trash talkers we got right now.
He got some piece on him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
hey.
So yeah, R.I.P. Gorgeous George. He's probably right.
Definitely.
If we talk about a Mike Tyson, even because Mike Tyson is just fresher in our minds. Gorgeous George was like the first Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? He might have been a harder hitter, right, than Mike Tyson.
He was bigger.
Big old dude.
I think it was like 6'3".
He's a priest and shit like that. Lost all his money. I told my girl that he passed away, and she's like, "Oh, don't you have like his panini press in your fucking like in your cabinet?" So I got. I didn't even know that, but I got George Foreman fucking like panini presses in my fucking in my house.
Don't burn your foot like Michael did in The Office.
Oh, did he do that with the George Foreman? Yeah. What, somebody's making a panini underneath their desk or some shit? He stepped on it?
Exactly.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, RIP though.
RIP, man. So 76 too. Kind of young. I mean, I don't want to like die at 76. I'd like to die around like 80 or something like that. And maybe like close to touching 90s. But he boxed, you know.
Yeah. He would get him and Ali kind of had, some issues afterwards.
And health, I think, is a lot more evolved today than it was when he was like our age even.
True.
So, right off the top of my head right now, something's pressing. It's pressing on me. It's like a fucking weight, bro. Sean Brady's win. You know that I'm not the most happy, but shout out to Sean. Credit to you, Sean. Good performance.
Great performance.
Can you sell like tickets really? And are people super excited? No. You know what I mean? But great performance. You are a great fighter, and I will not take that away from you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it was I think there's layers to this game. And when you look at these top, not even 5, but the top 3 guys, it's a all around evolved MMA fighter. You can't get to that point in your career without having that backbone of the grappling, the jiu-jitsu, the wrestling.
Those days are over.
Yeah, those days are really over, bro. Like you could be a great boxer and have a great stand-up game, but eventually the Islams of the world, the Habibs of the world, the Sean Brady's of the world. You know, we could probably go down the list of a lot of guys that have that and bro, he totally exposed them. Totally. But four rounds to zero.
I tried to tell you, right? I tried to tell you a little bit. It did come off as disrespectful, right? I'll admit, you know, I was saying like, you know, Leon is basically after this weekend, he's going to be in the category of like Bobby Green. Like he's done. He didn't get Bobby Greened, but I told you after that performance, he's done, bro.
Yeah. With Leon.
And I even hate to say it now. I feel bad saying it.
Yeah, but here's the thing about Leon. Like, he's still 32. He's not like he's 38, 39, right?
Yeah.
But he really needs it. Okay, it's almost like one of those things like, hey, I'm really good at X, and I'm good at three things, right? But the next guys are good at 5 or 6. Do I stop trying to get better at the rest just because that's who I am? Or do I take a step back and do I evolve and say, you know what? Maybe I need to spend a year in a jiu-jitsu or wrestling or this and grappling and come back even better, you know? Because if you don't, you're going to be the Sean Strickland. I don't know, Sean Strickland, because I know he's good on the ground,
I hear
but
you.
he doesn't
use it at all. So you might as well fucking not be. He might as well not be good on the ground.
Right.
Because we don't know it. You know what I mean? We can't see it.
Right.
I was going to say, too, with Leon, let me give you a comparison, right? Something to maybe just imagine in your mind real quick. Dustin Poirier, when he loses, even when he just lost to Islam, right? That loss to Islam, that was last year. The burning fucking desire to win that whole fight, right? He got submitted, right? He got submitted in the 5th. Leon got submitted in the 4th. But I'm telling you what, those just in the finishes alone and in the efforts up until that point, there is a world of difference there. And then the hurt from losing and, you know, expressing that and just being, and this is Dustin, right? Dustin's career is basically over. That's the funny part. And Leon's isn't. Like you said, he's 30 fucking 2, but he's acting like his career is over. Leon does not have that, to what Dean Thomas said. Leon, I agree, does not have that fighter shit that like Dustin Poirier has. You could kill Dustin 100 fucking times and he's gonna come back because he's that fighter. Leon's been killed twice and he's fucking looking like his career's over and he's 32. Dustin, you're gonna have to, like, he wants to retire, but he wants to fight still. And he's coming off, like, he came off that loss to Islam. It's just a world of a difference, bro. Yeah. Leon, like, packed his bags and fucking shot for that takedown, got submitted 30 seconds later. It's like, there's no fight. Like, when Dustin got submitted, Dustin went out fucking cold. He tapped, but then he went out because it's like, that's how far he took it.
Yeah. And I think too, I agree with Sean Brady. Like, Sean Brady took that fight very seriously. He knew Leon could catch him. Leon
hit him quite a few times, and Brady walked right through it.
And Leon, it almost was like he was laughing at, like, hey, you know, Bilal barely kind of beat me. You know what I mean? Like, I really want to run that back. Like, I don't know if he didn't take it as serious. Maybe it's a combination of things because evidently this ground game is not there.
I think to your point, it's
Well, look at Izzy got tapped by DDP.
Yeah. Let me say this. I think that Leon doesn't respect his opponents, and I think he's paying for that.
He's paying for it.
You can't disrespect the game like this and not give credit to these guys and then just think you can go in there. Like, if somebody's good at something and you're completely downplaying it, right? How are you going to be going to training if you don't even, like, you completely what's the word? Underestimated Bilal. Mm-hmm. Look what happened to you. You completely underestimated Sean Brady just now. Look what happened to you. Are you going to keep underestimating these guys and disrespecting the game, or are you going to give credit, right, and prepare the right way?
And start really going back into if I was him, ground zero, fucking jiu-jitsu, wrestling, grappling. Like, I'd start from scratch, get I don't know about a whole new team, but add a couple players. You know, I was gonna ask you, so who does he fight next though?
Okay, so I got it all for you because it's somewhat of a quick show, right? We actually got a hard out for MTK 4:30, but I want to put it in there. I'll stick around a little longer for the viewers. We'll get into a couple more topics if we have to. I got a special bonus topic that hopefully maybe we can get into with you, right? But if not, I'll still cover it. But it's a hot bonus topic. So maybe when we got 10 minutes left or 5 minutes left, I'll try to hit it real quick. You asked about the matchup, so let's go into it, right? The matchmaking for the welterweight division. I've got it all figured out. So
you do?
I've got it all figured out.
Wow. Okay.
So here's what we're gonna do.
Let's preface this. We still have JDM versus Bilal, right?
Right.
We still have Pratis versus Jeff Neal, right?
Yes, but I'm not going to factor that one in just because it's a little bit lower on the.
We got Michael Morales versus Gilbert Burns. Just so everybody knows, that's where we're at right now. We're in this, and Brian Battle, but these are guys on the Orban Elliott. So okay,
yeah,
you're talking premier guys.
Premier guys. I'm kind of talking the top 5, and I'm talking like. Here's my thing, right? Because I don't really go by all the rules all the time. I think you noticed that by now. So like for me, I'll be saying top 3 throughout this segment, but the top 3 at welterweight are. Right? Sean Brady, Shavkat Rakhmonov, Joaquin Buckley. You're going to see Kamaru and Leon up there above some of these guys like a Joaquin. But don't worry about that. Don't let that confuse you. I got you. Top 3, Brady, Shavkat, Buckley. Okay. So to book these guys.
Leon right now is what, 4?
Yeah, dude. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, put him below Buckley. It makes no sense. That's why I'm like, listen, I got you guys. You know what I mean? I'll make it real simple.
Where's he at, 5?
Yeah, it says Leon is 3, actually. Kamaru's 4. Jack Della is 5. Joaquin is 6.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. And also, Jack Della is obviously the number 1 contender, but he's already fighting in the title fight. So I got something for Jack Della. Listen to, here we go. I'm going to break it down from the bottom, starting with Ian Gary.
Okay.
Ian Gary, Colby Covington. Both coming off of losses, right? That's what you do with those guys. They talked a lot of shit, a lot of hype behind that fight.
They were supposed to fight.
It needs to happen. Colby versus Machado, right? Then you got Joaquin. What do we do with Joaquin? Now, full disclosure, I've reached out to Joaquin, told him to give me a call, haven't heard back. So I got to go off my own a little bit here. But if he would have called me today, I would have been giving you who he wants, right? But I got to make it up in my head now. So I'm just putting it out there. So what happened here? Joaquin's been calling out Usman. That's another buildup. There's buildup to this.
Yeah, I agree.
Give him Usman, right? Give him Usman. And then I say Sean Brady, Shavkat for that number 1 contender. But also, I also say Buckley, Usman. If Buckley can really like get that good ass knockout and Brady Rakhmonov is a dud, then Buckley's going to get that title shot. You know, so we got 2 number 1 contenders almost. And that's what I think. Also, to end it, right? The winner of Machado, Gary, and Covington will get the loser of the title fight coming up.
Okay, we'll get the loser of Shavkat Brady?
No, the loser of Bilal JDM.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said Sean should fight Shavkat?
Sean versus Shavkat for the new number 1 contender. Also, Buckley, Usman with the potential to steal the number 1 contender with a good knockout.
I was going to ask you, seeing all this play out, how good is Joaquin when it comes to the jiu-jitsu game? His background's wrestling, right?
His background's wrestling. He's been training with the B team. I think, you know, I wouldn't say that, like, I think Brady is more of accomplished of a grappler, you know, if that's what you're asking.
No, I'm just wondering because these are going to be the next conversations, right? To become champion.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be because Shavkat's. You know what? I was going to say. Shavkat's good on the ground. Ian Gary's been impressing me on the ground. We now see what Sean Brady could do. Bilal has a good, ground game as well. I don't know how good he is at jiu-jitsu, but he knows how to grapple and control. So, I mean, those 4 guys right there. And so that's why I'm wondering, where. If we were to say Joaquin, where is he at when it comes to just that part of the game?
I think he's right up there. I think that when you talk about the whole MMA game, right? Like, okay, let me give you an example because I just said Brady probably has the jiu-jitsu over Joaquin, right? I think Brady also has the jiu-jitsu over Bilal. And if you watch that fight, Bilal trained to defend the takedown. So there's other aspects, right? If you can stop the takedown and you're able to strike on the feet, that's kind of the blueprint to beat a Brady. Can Joaquin do that? I believe so. I believe that Joaquin and Bilal have sparred, and I think based off everything I've been hearing, Joaquin's like the uncrowned champ. I think Joaquin has worked with Bilal, and he knows he could beat him based off training they've done. This is all off the top of my head. I'm just guessing here. And so if Joaquin can beat Bilal in training, and Bilal has a win over Brady, just kind of do the math there. So you don't necessarily have to have the better jiu-jitsu. If you can outstrike and defend the takedown with Brady, you seem to be able to get the win. Also, I watched the fight. Brady got hit hard by a few big shots with Leon. You cannot take those shots off Joaquin. I guarantee you that you're getting your lights turned off. So those are some X factors. Can Brady box with Joaquin? I don't really think so at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then you factor in the kicks. You know what I mean? You start seeing Joaquin throw more spinning back kicks and shit and letting loose. I'm telling you, that's not a guy you want to be fighting on the feet if you're Sean Brady.
I agree with that. I mean, he's dangerous on the feet. I 100% agree with that.
So I'd say you got here to take it a step further. Joaquin, better on the feet, right? With the striking. Brady, better with the jiu-jitsu. Now the wrestling. What's going to happen there in the middle? Who's going to win the wrestling? If Joaquin wins the wrestling, he wins the fight because he's going to keep it standing. If Brady wins the wrestling, that's going to be more difficult for Joaquin.
And cardio, I think they're both about the same with cardio.
Yeah, also I want to say this, right? Because to defend what I want to say too. Brady and Buckley, people are saying that, right? So here's my opinion. For Brady and Buckley, Brady doesn't even deserve a Buckley, bro. Like, Brady deserves to fight a Shavkat. Because not just that he's number 2 or whatever the case, but because Shavkat's like a guy who doesn't speak English. He's doesn't really like, he's got that fan base, but he doesn't got that fan base, if you feel me. So like,
he's not going to sell the fight.
Right. And so that's why Buckley and Usman is more deserving, because Buckley has put in that work that we're talking about. Not just the fighting aspect, but putting the art of promotion, the work. You deserve an Usman, a former potential GOAT, because of all that stuff that goes behind it. You deserve that. You guys deserve that fight. Brady versus Buckley, it doesn't build Buckley's name any bigger than it already is if he beats Brady. And so in my opinion, like, Brady doesn't even deserve a Buckley. Like, you got to put in work to get these other opponents. Like, so you get Shavkat. You know what I'm saying?
But I would say this. That doesn't mean, in my opinion, I'm not speaking for Joaquin, you want to take that number, though.
And that's why I think low-key, maybe he doesn't agree with me. Maybe he's like, no, give me Sean Brady. Give me Shavkat. But, that's why I'm trying to talk to him. So he's got to get on the phone with me.
Options are all money. Shavkat, Kamaru, Sean Brady. Could you beat any one of those 3?
Right. Basically, I'm saying 2 number 1 contenders. Fuck the rankings, right? 2 number 1 contender fights. Run it. Who performs better? That's the best, right? That's the best type of competition to build this industry, right? You get an equal opportunity. Who's going to perform better? Come show me.
Yeah.
Come show me. Brady outperform Buckley. Buckley outperform Brady or Shavkat, and whoever performs the best gets that title fight. Put it out there. That's what we all have to do. Who gets the best interviews, right? That's who gets it. Who puts in the best work? So fuck the number 1, number 2. You know what I mean? Joaquin has put in that work. I said before this, Brady with the win gets on Joaquin's level, right? He's starting to put in that work now. Okay, now you reach that level, boom. You know what I mean? You both get a number 1 contender, survival of the fittest.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, man, this thing about this, and you already know because we've talked about this before, premier division in the UFC, welterweights, Bilal Muhammad, Sean Brady, Shavkat, Joaquin Buckley, Ian Gary, JDM, Carlos Freitas, Michael Morales. Carlos Freitas and Michael Morales get these wins. That's 8 names right there, bro.
Right, and I actually got something for those guys too. So those guys, right, can get like a Leon. You know what I I mean? Leon will still be available with the win. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and they get it. You know what I mean?
Give him Leon.
Exactly.
If you can beat Leon, see, he's gonna become the gatekeeper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what you do with that.
Yeah.
I want to say this, right, because you usually are a fan. I see a lot of hate right now. UFC London was boring.
You know what? You know what's crazy? First time
I watched 2 fights, and I'm not ashamed to say it.
I was driving. I was like in and out. I had to go to a funeral.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a chance to watch it until the last fight. I just had got home. So, but I was listening to it like in and out, and there was like, oh, finish. Or I was looking at the decision, 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 decision. I saw the highlight with the girl that knocked she rocked her and then she got fucking submitted. I was like, that's pretty good, but that was super prelims, right? But besides that, and I thought what I heard, it sounded like, and I did go back and watch it, the Chris Padilla fight, decision. Oberg, decision. And I thought maybe Oberg kind of, I don't know if he deserved it, but he got it. They're trying to build his name.
I didn't watch
So
it,
yeah,
but I watched the Kevin fight.
What was that?
I said I didn't watch it, but I watched the Kevin fight.
The Kevin Holland fight was a good one. We got to get props.
Honestly, right? Keep paying Kev whatever
boy.
money Kev is getting. Do not cut that shit off. Like, I don't give a fuck how many fights he loses. Like, clearly, right? Kevin is one of those guys you tune in for. That was one of those fights.
You know what I think too with Kevin? It's almost like once he gets to these top 10 guys, though, he can't get into that 6, 7, 8 position, and he falls back out. He has a really good fight, so he gets back into the conversation. Then he faces someone really, you know, like a deadly. At least that can give you and something happens, he falls out.
Yeah, this is my dream wish, right? This is my genie in a bottle type shit, right? Maybe it'll happen because I've been trying to manifest this, and so is you know, I guess this is what it is. Joaquin, UFC welterweight champ by the end of 2025, right? In that first title defense against Kevin Holland. Now Kevin's got to win. Kevin's got to turn it around.
Well, yeah, you got to. Is he even in the rankings?
Kevin, no, but the UFC loves this man. He will be in the rankings. I can probably guarantee you within the next fight, he'll probably be in the rankings. They're going to give him the best matchup. They're probably going to give him a Luque. I'm telling you, they love Kevin Holland.
And I'm here for that.
Yeah.
I am here for that. You beat Luque, you get in the top 15, right? My question is does he really want to cut the weight, though? I think what will happen, bro, is that he'll be like, nah, I'm good. He just seems to have that attitude like,
yeah,
whatever.
And you're going to get that comes with the territory. You're going to act like that, then you're not going to get a title fight beginning of 2026 against Joaquin.
And he'll go back to 185, and he'll end up fighting like, one of the guys between the top 15. He may lose, he may win, and then so that's my thing with them. It's like, he's exciting. And I thought I picked Gunnar, and it was kind of like, and I thought about it, I was like, nah, he showed he's levels above him.
Hear me out on this one.
Yeah.
Genie in a bottle, right? I'm not speaking on terms of reality. I know, okay. I understand this sounds crazy, but if it happens, it would be even crazier. Kevin Holland, right? End of this year, he's already got one in, right? Call it a 3-fight win streak, right? Call it a three or four fight win streak at welterweight, not moving around, at welterweight. Okay. Him, Joaquin, season of the Ultimate Fighter for the welterweight title. Joaquin's first title defense beginning of 2026.
I was about to hit but okay, I got you.
You kind of like that? How crazy would that be? I would be fucking glued to my TV.
It's fun. That's fun.
That's fun.
Shit talk.
And they're rematching. They already ran it. Do you know how much shit Joaquin has to get off his chest to Kevin about that shit? And do you know how much Kevin is going to rub that shit in Joaquin's face the whole season?
I bring you back down to reality. Aladdin fucking wasn't real. There's no flying carpets.
Hey, but then watch this all turn out to be true. Oh my god, that'd be fucking crazy.
Run the tape. Keep the receipts. He doesn't take it seriously like that, bro. Like I love that video with Joaquin when he was talking about his grandmother and like the motivation, the hunger inside him. Oh my god, bro, that's like a fucking motivational speech right there for the hood. I was like, damn, dude,
this gets like reposted every day.
Dude, this I just watch it almost every day. It's so like inspiring because he's fighting for something else. He has a bigger purpose. When you have a bigger purpose, whatever it could be, I want to be champion. My family, my kids, I need money. I'm broke. I'm fucking hungry. it gives you another level of having to succeed. Like you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
That's what Joaquin's right now. I don't have a choice. Kevin, I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna talk this. I'm gonna do this. I'm having fun, bro. And you know, more power to you, dog.
More power
go
to
have
you.
fun, homie. Go have fun, dog.
But everybody's got a different road. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Dude, what's up with this guy Aaron the plumber?
Why does that sound familiar?
Bro, he's this viral ass dude. He's like Joaquin Buckley. He's his lookalike.
Yeah, but he was like on the no jumper shit, right?
Yeah, but not even no jumper. He's been getting in all these fights. He's going on like reality shows and all this shit.
Okay, he's a streamer.
He's kind of, I guess you could say. They're not streams. They're like these 30-verse ones and shit on YouTube.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, he's just like Joaquin's fucking lookalike. And this guy's like, basically, they're the same dude. It's like as if Joaquin never joined the UFC. Like, this is what he would have been doing. They're the same fucking dude, and they look like. It's crazy. You gotta look it up. But he's stealing some of his shine. He's like, you know what I mean?
I was gonna say on the Hood shit, bro. Like, I went back and I kind of talked to some of the homies I know, like Hoodie and Refuse, on what's going on with fuck. Why am I gonna forget his name on the top of my head?
What's his name again?
3U.
Oh, Big U and Brick Baby.
Big U and fucking I'm forgetting their names. That's how much I fucking just
Big U, Brick Baby, Loose Cannon,
Brick Baby. So I went back and I started hearing really what was going on and shit with Whack 100 and shit. And I was like, bro, you know what? At the end of the day, bro, this dude's fucking being charged for dumping a body in Las Vegas, dog.
Who? Big U?
Big U.
Yeah.
Bro, these are guys, bro, that's why I love the UFC, man, because these guys are trying to change their lives. They're trying to do something positive. Mm-hmm. They're trying to get back to the community. On this other side of the bridge, bro, these motherfuckers are like, harming people, glorifying fucking violence, ruining our communities, ruining the next generation. That's why, man, I'm like so over that shit, dog. Like it pisses me off when I see motherfuckers like that just get some type of clout, some type of like energy, because at the end of the day, bro, they're gonna go right back to prison or they're gonna end up dead. Mm-hmm. What are we really doing?
Yeah, I agree.
So
yeah, that big dude seems like a fucking demon, to be honest with you. He's like one of those fake. He's like he wants to be like a Suge Knight, like a boss in the industry, but just like bullies people around.
And here's the thing, bro. Like, and so behind the scenes, if you that dude, that means you put a lot of people in harm's way.
Yeah.
And I, seeing some of those videos and shit when they're talking about Nipsey, like, bro, like this shit goes deep, dog. Like that shit goes deep, bro. Like what Luke Cannon said and shit with Whack 100 about fucking, Big U had called him 30 minutes prior saying Nipsey already got killed. And Whack 100 was like, what? Wait, hold up. What did you just say?
Like he knew something was gonna happen, right? I think he said he said, hey, sorry. He apologized about it, and then it happened.
Right, 30 minutes prior to.
He said, "I'm sorry. I heard about what happened to Nip," and then he's like, "What? That didn't happen." And then boom, it happened.
Right.
You got 5 minutes, or go ahead, wrap this one up, and then
I got like 10 minutes. I at least got to get here by like 4:40. I know I said 4:30, but I can push a little bit. But it just, especially like those videos coming out, and then like still when you get out of the game and you want to do some good back into your community, I love that. But when you're still in the game and you're playing both sides, because one side of you still wants to be a gangster and a shot caller on the street with the respect and the pride that it comes with it, but behind the scenes you're still fucking hurting people.
Yeah.
Bro. Like,
I don't fuck with that either. You're two-faced.
Yeah. So you still want to be because you still want to be a gangster. You still want to put work in the streets. You still want to harm each other. What we're doing is harming each other. Mm-hmm. It's senseless. You know what I mean? But some people can't get out of it. And if he did do what they're accusing him of, and Brick Baby and Lose, bro, none of these dudes are innocent, bro. None of these guys. What they did is they found a medium to say, oh, I can go be a social media influencer. I can use my some of this shit as street cred.
Monetize my rep as a Crip.
or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Like WAC 100. You know what I mean? Like everybody's a different thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's why when you see me talk about no jumper and shit, dude, like that dude, he's fucking doing more harm than good for our own people, for our own culture. You know what I mean? And like and not understanding how deep this shit goes. Like there's consequences for some of this shit you do in trade, bro. That dude gets inside of prison, bro. He's gonna have to get so deep with the skinheads and Aryan Brotherhood, because that's what prison is, bro. You don't, once you get in there, it's about race, it's about respect. Like you can't be playing these games anymore.
What's he's gonna run with the black crowd? That would be crazy, huh?
That's impossible. You have to go with your own race.
With your own race.
Or your own race will get you.
Yeah. They're gonna be like, no, we can't let this happen. Like, we got to get this guy if he's not gonna run with us.
Oh, you either gonna understand what's going on in there very quickly, bro. Like.
Yeah, well, Adam just got picked up, from the feds, just so people know.
Because the people that are lifers in prison, bro, they got nothing to lose, and you're playing their game now.
Yeah.
You think the streets were something? Wait till you read a shot caller. Wait till you meet someone that you've never even seen, but he's running shit fucking behind bars because that's how much respect he has, and because he's a lifer. That's the rest of his life. That's all he knows.
Yeah. This whole thing, I did not expect Adam to get picked up, so I'm just like way more intrigued than I was before. But because also, right, Adam did this thing to take it a step further again. Adam went on live yesterday, and he said, the feds contacted me. Basically, I'm not talking, and I'll be going live today, right, to talk about it. And so hours before he goes live, that he announced he would be going live, he got picked up by the feds, and he's not going live anymore. Crazy.
It is crazy. But and that goes to show you, bro, like when the feds are building a case, so this is what's going to happen. Let's say he does know information, bro. And he's being pressured by real gang members, real motherfuckers, bro. Like, dude, do not say anything. Your life's gonna be at danger, and the Fed's gonna grab you. What do you think Adam 22 is gonna do? You think he's gonna go spend the rest of his life in prison for some dudes?
He's snitching
off social media shit.
He's already said he's snitching.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he's playing a dangerous game with dangerous people with real consequences, and that's why, a long time ago, bro, I said I realized that it has nothing. That part of gang shit culture, it's meaningless. It's senseless and it's meaningless. That's why I love doing this show with you, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. Yeah, what you said about the whole, like, even looking up to stuff, right? It's like you can look at anything Brick Baby says or like all these gangsters do, talking shit to other gangsters, not really acting on it. It's all a bunch of bullshit. Or you can wake up and hear for an example, right? Joaquin Buckley going live, talking about changing his life for his family, the hunger, the motivation, and go out and like fucking kill the day. You feel me? Two completely different things. That's how I've always kind of lived my life too. I always like get motivated by these little clips from these fighters. When I was young, it was like Floyd Mayweather and shit. You know what I mean? John Jones back in his heyday.
Yeah. Muhammad Ali, bro, look at his story. Mike Tyson, you know what I mean? Like, but these guys a lot of these guys grew up with nothing too in bad communities, right? But now they have a chance to say, you know what? Let me take that aggression. Why am I going to kill my fellow neighbor? Why am I fighting with my fellow, people that are struggling as well? Why don't we try to uplift them?
Right.
And he can do something for his community as he's for his family. If he gets to the stage where he really wants to be and create really change, create a Joaquin Buckley gym and bring all the kids in low-income neighborhoods. That's real. That's a real gangster.
And all the kids you motivate, regardless of what you achieve in the sport, going for a big goal, putting it out there for people to hear it, right? All the people you encourage to go and chase their dreams too. There's that. And then there's that side of like the hood and shit. For me, I find it entertaining. I watch it from afar. It's like a telenovela, like you said, you know what I mean? A little soap opera, kind of like the UFC, the WWE. I watch it from afar, but in no means do I look up to these guys or ever want to emulate myself to be like them. If anything, I watch it and be like, all right, this is kind of like what not to do. You feel me?
But see, and that's the sad part though, bro. If you think about it, all the people that are
looking up to them,
that are still living it and doing it and know nothing else.
Yeah.
That are just, you know, like the dude that killed Nipsey, bro, he didn't give a fuck.
No.
That's why he's the rest of his life in prison. They knew he was that dude, like he was crazy, bro. Like he didn't care.
Yeah.
Out of all the people to kill, you killed Nipsey?
Crazy, right?
From your own neighborhood? That's it, bro. There's no honor amongst thieves.
No, there's not. And that the last thing I'll say about this is that's the thing, right? This thing that they got going on, it's never ending. You know what I mean? You don't snitch, then you commit crimes, then you you know what I mean? Then you don't snitch again. So it's like all these crimes are getting committed, and it's this self-policing system that they have. You know what I mean? It's never gonna fucking work. And I think they know that too. And they get called out all the time. So you're not gonna snitch if somebody murders somebody across the street from you, an innocent fucking person. You're not gonna snitch. No, I'm not gonna snitch. It's like, dude, there's so many examples, but you live your life by like one fucking simple protocol. I'll never snitch. But if a fucking kid gets murdered in front of you, you're not gonna snitch.
But the thing is, because, bro, if you look at the background of it, low income, no education.
Yeah.
No, a broken up family. So your family then becomes the gang in your community. If your older brothers and your uncles and your cousins are all gang affiliated, bro, most of them are in and out of prison. So your whole life, all you've seen is this life. You know what I mean? Compared to someone whose brothers and sisters graduated college and had a career, that's all you're seeing. You know, think about those two different perspectives of life.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, my uncle never snitched. My dad never snitched. Nah, dog, I'm gonna go spend the rest of my life in prison.
Because that's what you look up to.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So you're almost like being brainwashed.
It is to
into
some degree.
this society. Then you have the music, and then you know, it comes with a lot of things. But just real quick on some of your topics. John wants 6 months. Will the fight happen?
Fuck that one. I got a better one for you.
All right. McGregor announcing he's running for president.
We did talk about that. I don't think he's gonna get elected, but he could run if he wants to. You say he will. Fair enough.
He gets so many millions of followers. I think he will, and he has a mouthpiece on him.
I'm interested to see him. What's it called? Run.
Demetrius Johnson on smoking weed and training. He's not really training high level anymore, so he can do whatever the fuck.
No, but
he
my
wants.
thing with that, I'll say real quick. DJ doesn't smoke weed like that. Because it's hilarious. He was like, I smoked weed the night before, and then I went and trained the next day. And smoking weed is amazing. It's like, bro, you're saying it as if like you smoked weed and went and trained, but like that's like drinking the night before and being like, yes, drinking's great for training. Like, dude, you gotta do it like beforehand.
Not comparing apples to that.
Yeah, but it's fine.
Yeah, he's not like at the gym rolling the blunt.
Right. Two different things. Here, I got to end the day, right? Special bonus topic.
Okay.
Now, I don't like bringing this up, but I think it's necessary. And I think it's a common theme on this podcast. And I know you saw me post it, and I did delete it because Dylan Dennis deleted it. So I think you know what it is. Tony Ferguson, police audio from 2022, his wife calling the cops. Now, I'm going to play this. I downloaded it because it's important. This is in 2022, and this man is still fighting. And this is the state that his wife was in, again, in 2022. So I am going to play this right now.
Comfortable with it no more? Okay.
Wait.
I just want to explain one thing. I actually left the location with my son. I was not comfortable with it no more. Okay. He's a professional fighter. Okay. And is he there by himself, or is there anyone else there? No, he's there with friends, just the dogs. Like I said, by himself. And it's your husband? Yeah, it's my husband. What's his name? I just want to let you guys know he's a professional fighter because, one, I don't want no cop to get injured or anything. We don't. Just anyone. No, we don't want anyone to get hurt. What's your husband's name? Tony Ferguson. Tony? Yes. How old is Tony? He's 35. We've been trying, us and his management team has been trying to get him help for some time now. Actually, the cops were called to my location about a year ago around this time. And we've been trying all year for him to get help. And he refuses. And now he's to the point where he's Has he been diagnosed with anything? No, because we haven't been able to take him. Okay. Yeah, he's actually worse. Did he hurt you or your children? No. No, you're okay. We're just random stuff. I just want to say one thing.
Okay, so he didn't hurt anybody, just to put it out there. But his wife said that her son isn't comfortable being around him, and he's doing random stuff. Also worth noting, they asked if he's been diagnosed with anything, and they said no, because he refuses to get help. So that's so because he hasn't been diagnosed doesn't mean he doesn't have anything. He refuses to find out. That's in 2022. You've seen shit like him getting knocked out even more. You've seen him training with David Goggins, getting his body fucking torn to shreds. Like now he's fighting Dylan Dennis. It's 2025. Like one of those calls is too many in my opinion. He's still with his family, and he's lucky he's still with his family. If it was me, that's it. You do that one time and I'm done.
It's very alarming.
And this is the thing, alarming. Like CTE and these fighters. Nick Diaz just got a positive health update, like, yesterday.
Because we could hear in 6 months or 12 months X happen. You're like, dude, we all saw the signs.
We all saw that. We heard the police audio, and here you are signing him to a league. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. I mean, and a lot of these guys need someone to look out for them, because evidently they can't look out for themselves at a point, especially when you see the signs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like you just said, that's a fucking huge red flag.
That's huge.
That's heartbreaking almost,
And since then, like, I know he got off with it, but he had like a DUI thing with his car. Like, low key, Tony has been crashing out,
Yeah.
And
then you got 7 losses in a row, bro. Like, your career. Now you're trying to, who knows where his income is at. I don't know where his income, where he's at financially in his life, but he's at a point where if he, let's just say he needs money, stress, brain damage, like there's so many fucking things that could be going on there. That's sad.
Yeah, and now he's got a fight coming up with Dylan Dennis.
Because he needs the money.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume.
But
because we're not doing it to chase championships anymore.
Yeah. But you got all these guys ticking time bombs, man. Ticking time bombs. If you don't think something else is gonna happen with Tony in the next year to 2 years, you're tripping.
You know what we need to add? At the next episode, I see a lot of people talking about it more and more. Is Dana White on his way out?
Yeah, okay, we could talk about that.
In conspiracy theory, is Dana White know that it's a ticking time bomb with some of these fighters that now are having some of these problems on the back end, and he doesn't want to deal with it anymore?
Well, this is why I love this, right? And I'm going to always keep bringing it back. Since almost day one of this podcast, that has been the theme here, because it started happening when we started doing this podcast. By the way, special shout out, right? 2 weeks we didn't do this podcast, so it's episode 24. But if we did those 2 weeks, that would have been 26 podcasts, which is 52. So that means that times 2 is 52. So that means get the whiteboard out. Long story short, this is like 6 months of doing the podcast. So we'll celebrate a little 6 month. This is the podcast. It's 24 episode, but technically we've been doing it for 26 weeks. We just took a couple weeks off.
That's what's up. That's a good landmark.
Yeah, and since the beginning, this has always been a theme, and we've been talking about it, and it's been progressing. Like, if you look back at the first podcast, that's not what we were saying, like Dana on his way out because he doesn't want to deal with CTE. We were saying, how's Dana gonna handle this?
Address it.
This, what do you call it? This tsunami wave that's coming his way, right? Now, fast forward to 6 months mark, and we're saying, like, damn, this tsunami wave is still coming. I think Dana might be plotting his way out. When you first said that, I wasn't super like believing you, but it makes sense.
Power slap, boxing. I forgot what else. He has something else going on. He has like 4 or 5 things.
Bull riding or some shit. Doesn't he do like something with bulls?
I don't know, but he has like 4 or 5 things that he's juggling. You can't be great at everything.
Yeah.
One of them's gonna fall to the wayside, and the product's gonna get watered down. Something's gonna happen to the product.
He's gonna sell off his ownership or something in UFC before like the CTE gets bad. Something. Last thing I'll say, just because we're on the topic, if anybody's still listening, CTE, I heard something just like a food for thought. Henry Cejudo said on his podcast that fighters maybe shouldn't be starting to go pro so young to protect their brain. So, and that kind of makes sense. Like, you know, only around those guys who are 28 to like 32 really perform well in the UFC. So if you're 22, what's the point of being in there for 6 years until you reach your prime? Just food for thought.
Yeah, but they're starting them younger too, though.
They are starting them younger.
Yeah.
So, you know, boxing, they start them young too. So who knows? But that was interesting. I was like, okay, Henry, that makes sense. Because you know how they say don't smoke weed until you're a little bit older because like your brain gets fully developed? That's what he's saying. When your brain is in that developmental stage and then you're also sparring every week, it could probably like inhibit it. So once you're fully developed at like 21, 22, maybe your brain's more equipped to take big shots.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I agree with that.
Also, though, I don't know what it is, but like you see Brendan Schaub, he's fine. Like you see Bisping, he's kind of fine. So the thing that always pops in my mind is, what is it? Like what makes these guys go off the rail? Like what makes Tony Ferguson go off the rails and what makes Bisping not? Because Bisping fought basically just as much as Tony. They both went through the Ultimate Fighter house. Both basically got world titles. Like Bisping lost a fucking eye, bro. That's how hard he got hit.
Yeah, but I think behind the scenes, Bisping's pretty open about it. He's not. It's not like he's still not hurting, but maybe the mental part of it.
I'm talking about the brain.
Yeah, maybe but you know, where you're off the rails, right? But like some of these guys, like if you look at, have you watched that movie Concussion about the NFL?
Will Smith.
Yeah, I mean, some of these guys don't even know what's going on, bro. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying Bisping doesn't know what's going on, but I'm just saying there's multiple ways that CTE can show effects.
Yeah. You know, DC, right? DC been in wars with John Jones and Stipe Miocic. And DC doesn't really slur his words. Part of me thinks like, oh, maybe if you're a commentator, it like helps your brain, like because you keep working your brain.
But Muhammad Ali didn't start getting to that point until he got Parkinson's in his late 40s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. You don't see some of those results till like 20 years after. Some of the worst case scenarios, you see it a lot sooner. Junior Seau, I think, killed himself when he was 50, bro. Alexa, how old was when Junior Seau killed himself?
This might answer your question. Sato Shinji died at 33 years old on March 15th.
Alexa, but I think Junior Seau was, admired. No one thought Junior Seau was going to fucking kill himself with a shotgun, dude.
No. Hey, this is super random, but I didn't ask you definitively.
43. He was 43 when he had died.
Yeah, RP. Do you think that Sean Brady deserves a title fight?
I think one more. You got to give one more.
And you don't think Shavkat deserves that instant one either? Like, you're on the same page, basically? Like, a new #1 contender fight has to take place?
Yeah, I just think with the time.
I think with the timing, too. Like, Shavkat can't wait around for another 6 months and, like...
You can't wait for another year, dude. Like, there's something about that.
You don't just get that while everybody's working.
Yeah, you got to... And then if he didn't dominate Ian Gary, he slithered.
Okay, just curious about your thoughts on that. So I think that's unanimous. I don't think anybody thinks Brady deserves a title fight. I think we need to find the #1 contender fight.
I think some people do, but most people are in your wavelength. Yeah,
probably the majority, right?
Yeah,
I'll take that at least. All right, bro. What do you got going on? You got the hyenas over?
No, actually, my mom's in a hospital.
Oh shit. Okay. Hey, we're gonna get off air, so